me. It was the calls on my cell phone. My phone receives calls from unknown numbers several times a day. And it started the day after I quit the restaurant. I can imagine who might be calling insistently. Well, I'm busy, and they're unknown numbers, so I decided to ignore them and not pick up. After that, my phone kept ringing incessantly. And about 6 months later, I found myself working in the kitchen of a certain restaurant. It's a trendy French restaurant. The interior has a luxurious feel, but it's not as formal as the previous restaurant. The restaurant's concept is to make the restaurant welcoming even to first-timers. So we have quite a lot of young customers. Actually, I'm the owner and head chef of this restaurant. I opened it about a 5-minute walk from the French restaurant where Samantha fired me. I managed to cover the security deposit and opening costs with my savings and some loans. There were quite a few struggles before the opening. I wondered why it was so difficult to open just one restaurant. Every time I faced difficulties, I thought this. And I remember feeling really relieved when we managed to open successfully. We did some advertising by handing out flyers and using social media, so we had some customers from the first day. It was chaotic and tough, but fulfilling. And of course, our restaurant's flagship menu is the quiche Lorraine. Since I opened this restaurant on my own this time, I also refreshed the menu. In the previous upscale French restaurant, the customer base was older, so we relied on classic ingredients. We carefully selected ingredients like chestnuts and langoustines, focusing on their origin and seasonality. They're reliable ingredients, but lack excitement. However, now we're also incorporating visually appealing and popular ingredients, paying attention to their appearance and their appeal to women. The result, of course, has been a huge hit. Many customers order the quiche Lorraine based on word of mouth, possibly because it was already popular at the previous upscale French restaurant. The other day, we were also interviewed for TV. After being featured on TV, shortly after opening, there was a period when lines formed, and we even had to distribute numbered tickets. Fortunately, we managed to keep things running smoothly because we happened to hire only good staff. However, the calls kept coming in as usual. They were from that unknown number. I've never answered the phone before, not even once. But if I reject the calls, I might lose track of future developments. So I left them unanswered. During those busy yet fulfilling days, an unexpected visitor arrived. One day, just like any other, the bell rang to signal the arrival of a customer. As I began to say welcome, my words stopped, because there stood Samantha. "What can I do for you?" I asked Samantha to move to the back entrance because I didn't want to disturb the customers. Here, nobody would interrupt our conversation, and since it was already past the last order time, the other staff should be able to manage even without me. Samantha's appearance had changed quite a bit. Before I left my previous restaurant, Samantha always dressed up in brand name items. Her hair was neatly curled, and her nails had gel polish with Swarovski crystals. The perfume was also strong, to the point where I honestly wished she would stop wearing it. But I wonder how it is now. Samantha's clothes are from brands I know are budget-friendly. Her hair is not curled and looks a bit unkempt. Her nails are also chipped. It was clear that she wasn't taking care of herself.
"It's all your fault that the store is in trouble, you know. Don't you feel bad about it?"
Samantha shouted with her eyes narrowed. It seems like it's all my fault. Samantha never acknowledged her own mistakes before. I don't feel bad because I'm the one who got fired. How exactly is it difficult? I replied calmly. It was Samantha who fired me, so the responsibility should lie with Samantha, but I'm a little curious about how the store is doing.
"Because you quit, the store's sales have plummeted, you know. First of all, even though it's a French restaurant, I didn't even know that quiche Lorraine was the flagship on the menu."
Saying so, Samantha vigorously scratched her head. She seemed unable to believe the current situation. Definitely the quiche Lorraine I made is now a dish that every customer always orders. At times, customers even leave without ordering anything else, just having my quiche Lorraine and some wine. Many of our regular customers feel that way too. Well, In the case of regulars, they often bring business partners later and order a course meal. So there's no particular problem. So the quiche Lorraine I made makes up a big part of our sales for the day. But the president and the head chef should know this too. If you're the president's daughter, you should have been able to see the sales data, right? Don't blame me for your lack of knowledge, okay? When I confronted Samantha with reason, she bit her lips in frustration.
Ugh, so what? I couldn't stand you being the only woman in the kitchen, getting all the attention. You're not even struggling that much, yet you're treated nicely just because you're a woman.
With an envious expression, Samantha said this. Actually, I've struggled a lot because I'm a woman. There's no point in talking about it here, and I just wanted to end this pointless argument quickly. I'd rather think about new menu items than talk about it here. So, what's the reason for coming here? I asked calmly. Then Samantha quickly became angry.
You never pick up the phone, do you? When I told Dad that you quit, he got really mad the next day. He said the restaurant wouldn't function without you. He demanded I apologize and convince you to come back, she shouted.
Listening to her, it seemed the president had a lot of trust in me. Apparently, there were plans for me to eventually take over as head chef. While I mostly made quiche Lorraine myself, I had mastered everything from crepes to side dishes. Honestly, I think I had enough skills to stand on my own. Everyone at the restaurant probably knew that, except Samantha. Just before I quit, I was even mentoring the junior staff. I just wanted to keep working hard at that restaurant. Also, the fact that the president cared about me, plus getting used to the atmosphere at work, including working with a head chef, somehow made me want to continue. While I was thinking about that, Samantha continued.
And what about that quiche Lorraine? You're the only one who can make it, right? I heard even the head chef can't make it.
As Samantha said this, she pointed at me firmly. Indeed, only I can make that quiche Lorraine. There's a recipe, but the cooking process is particularly tricky, and if you miss the timing even slightly, it becomes mushy. I calmly responded to Samantha's inquiry. That quiche Lorraine isn't something just anyone can make. While you might manage to get the taste right following the recipe, the delicacy in appearance and when you taste it can't be replicated by others. Plus, it takes more time than regular quiche Lorraine, so I don't think everyone wants to make it. I left the recipe at the restaurant, but it seems like everyone gave up on making it. Because of that, everyone, including the head chef, respected me. While I was thinking about these things, Samantha gave me a stern look. And then, with the same momentum, Samantha made a declaration to me.
You! Close this place right now and come work at our restaurant again. I'll put up with seeing your face because I have no choice.
She says some pretty outrageous things. I have no idea why she's talking down to me like that. And considering what's happening now, she should be trying to persuade me, right? I sighed in disbelief at Samantha's attitude. There's no way I'm going back now, right? Why would I need to return when I have my own restaurant? I conveyed firmly. The restaurant I quit is in the past for me, and I couldn't bear to come back with Samantha there, ready to complain again.
So what's going to happen to that restaurant? Actually, the head chef is also quitting following your departure. Several others have left the restaurant as well. The restaurant is now struggling so much to function that it's being forced to close temporarily,
Samantha said, visibly agitated. She's probably quite stressed out. She's speaking to me with her hair in disarray. Oh, I don't know. You once said the shop can run even without you, you know. Instead of being here, how about you run the shop? I said calmly.
That's impossible, obviously. Just make the quiche Lorraine.
As Samantha tried to continue, I won't ever come back and I won't serve the quiche Lorraine either. It has nothing to do with the shop I quit. Don't ever come back. If you do, I'll make sure you're banned. With that, Samantha left, slamming the door. It turns out this whole incident was Samantha's unilateral decision. And by firing me, the head chef resigned voluntarily. Several other close colleagues apparently left too. This made the shop unable to stay open, so it had to close temporarily. When the president found out about this, he was furious. He was also angry that she couldn't convince me. To take responsibility for this, he apparently fired Samantha and kicked her out of her house. Of course, Samantha seemed to have been in trouble and tried to rely on others, but explaining the situation to those around her caused Samantha's credibility to plummet. It seems that Samantha couldn't get help from anyone in the end. Originally, due to not having a job history that made her an immediate asset, she couldn't find a job. In the end, she couldn't find a full-time job and ended up as a temporary worker, but even there she caused trouble and her contract ended. Now it seems she's scraping by with a job at night. A colleague apparently saw Samantha in the streets at night. I've heard through the grapevine that even Samantha is struggling with her night job because there are apparently many younger staff members compared to her and things aren't going well at all. It seems like she's living in a rundown apartment to save money, so her days must be far from the glamorous life she was accustomed to. As for me, the business is going well and I'm currently planning a second store. Actually, the manager of the second store was supposed to be the former workplace's head chef. He immediately left the previous job after the trouble and said he wanted to work together. Interestingly, some of my former co-workers from that place are working with me for similar reasons. They're quite dependable and have helped me out when I've been in a pinch. Also, something has changed in my personal life. I've started actively looking for a partner. Recently, I've been occasionally attending matchmaking parties. Perhaps seeing more people around me getting married has motivated me. While work is still my priority for now, I hope to enrich my personal life in the future.